I'm here at the PARTEX stand, and Antonio Costa Silva is joining me now, and he is the Chief Executive Officer of PARTEX. Antonio, now you have been here since, way back in terms of the very beginning of the oil industry in this region here. Maybe not you personally, but PARTEX has been here for a long time. Tell us about that.
Yes. So our founder, Mr. Carlos Gulbenkian, came to this region in the first decades of the 20th century. He was a strong believer on the potential for oil and gas production in the region. So he spent all his life trying to craft partnerships in order to work with the local authorities and international oil and gas companies to develop the oil industry in the Middle East. So we are here after 75 years. You are right.
What a fabulous history for a company like this to have here. So very much, you've really seen the development of the industry, the growth of the industry, and really stood side by side with, as you say, your partners here. Tell us also a little bit about this. You're here at this conference now, but you, of course, were one of our keynote speakers for the opening session here. How important was that opening session and the plenary session that you participated in?
I think the opening session was very important because it was a kind of sharing of experience, vision, of the industry about the growth opportunities in terms of the future. Of course, the industry, as you know, is very dynamic, is evolving continuously. We have strong technological challenges, but with a vision about the future key issues, we can address these challenges and continue the development of all these activities. And I think the plenary session responded to that.
And of course, you would know all about partnerships in this region too, and that was one of the themes very much of that plenary session, because if anybody's been a partner in this industry, you certainly have too. More than ever now, do you think that partnership is the key way between the IOCs, the NOCs, and indeed the service providers? That's what has to happen from now on.
I think so. If you look to the history of the industry, partnerships are the key for success. And PARTEX, we have inherited this in our genetic mark, how to craft partnerships, how to work together. We are always on the part of the solutions, not of the problems. We have a very constructive approach, trying to align the different interests. And you know, in a partnership you can have big elements, big companies, but if you don't have a lubricant to make the partnership to work, it can run to disaster. So if you pick wrong partners, if you don't have the right structure, you can run for disaster. And this was avoided in the region, at least in all partnerships they are running for success, and we hope that this will continue in the future.
Well, that's good news to hear. And tell me, what about maybe new partners you might have been meeting here at the conference and the exhibition here at Adipec 2012? How has this show been for you?
No, this show is fantastic. I have been in Adipec in 1984, the first session. It was in a small room in Intercontinental Hotel. And I was a speaker with Ali Jarouan. Ali Jarouan was an organizer and also a speaker. And when you look to the evolution of this event, it's extraordinary. It's in a sort of mirror of the oil and gas industry also in the Middle East. So it came from nothing to develop in a worldwide event recognizable by everybody. And you see the number of companies, the interactions, the level of the speakers, the organization, and you have done quite a good job pulling also all this together with ADNOC, with the other partners. I think it's a fantastic achievement.
And also, of course, Adipec now goes annually. Do you think it's it's almost like come of age that it's time for it to go annually? Are you excited about that?
Yes, I am excited because you have not only oil but gas, and I know the theme for next year is gas. And this is another example of PARTEX strategic thinking, because when the governor of Abu Dhabi launched the gas companies in the 70s, gas had no much value. And we supported this initiative, and I think we were right together with the government of Abu Dhabi, because the gas is more and more valuable, and gas will be the future of oil. So I think the next conference will address all the key issues, and if you look around with the shale gas revolution in the United States, the world gas reserves in unconventional fields could be twice the conventional ones. So this is an avenue that was open for the future development.
Now, of course, at this conference too, they added a few new features. We have the wonderful museum, and we also have the Middle East Petroleum Club, which I see you're one of the founding members of here. How important do you think is such a networking group like this?
I think it was a fantastic idea, because with the Petroleum Club, we have the possibility to interact between the executives. And before we didn't have this possibility. It's a very, very good idea. It's a sort of place where the interactions, the networking can be constructed, and I think it is working quite well. And the museum is also a very good initiative. We have the marks of the oil and gas industry in the Middle East, and we were quite happy because the first photograph is from our founder, Calouste Gulbenkian, when he came here in the first decades of 20th century, and he tried to craft all these important partnerships.
So you think maybe a lot of the new people who are coming to Adipec can go and visit the museum and really understand where it all came from? That's very important, isn't it?
It's very, very important, because without history, if you ignore history, you will make huge mistakes in the future. And I think the history combined with a good identification of the future trends is the right combinations to respond to the challenges.
Super. Well, thank you so much.
Okay.
Always lovely to see you here.
Thank you, Ed.
We'll see you next year.
Thank you, Ed. See you next year. Thank you.